praise the sun. There you are. So, we have returned to our story of Kurt Helborg. No, Franz is of no importance anymore. We want to see what Kurt Helborg is up to. Oh.
Go if you up.
So there's still a... Oh boy, it's a giant. It's ridiculous. Why is this giant already unit rank 8? I mean, they fought almost no battles whatsoever. Yeah, we're not complaining. Even though there is a slight problem approaching on the horizon, because in less than 2 hours Creative Assembly will release a new DLC with a big orc and a petty elf, pew-pew, which will basically render all those modifications that we have right now basically useless, and they will all need to be updated, and our story will, well, probably not continue, because the save file will probably be, well, invalid. It's also a problem with Total War in general. If there is a patch upcoming, Creative Assembly is not giving you the chance to play on an earlier stage of a game version, so you're forced to play on the most actual, well, most recent patch, which means that there are a lot of problems with your save files. I remember in Rome 2, I had a titanic Roman Empire. I almost conquered 70% of the map, and then they released a big patch, and then my save game was gone. Well, when I loaded it crashed, so worthless. Okay.
Yes.
So we left at the end of the round, which is all extremely clever.
I am a lord of Bretonia.
No,
Never.
You're a toast. A Bretonnian toast. Okay, so we're going to take a look at... Oh, whoa. We do not have any income whatsoever. That's... problematic. And our imperial power is at -1, which is also extremely bad. Okay, the Bretonians have left poor empire. Well, they could have just destroyed this one petty group. I mean, I'm not complaining. We're going to get XP for Coward Helborg's army. Also, a little... I'm not cheesing. trick. You should always try to auto-resolve smaller battles if you're going for XP, especially unit XP. Because your units in, well, normal battle will not be able to, advance as quickly. We have a Confederation Offered. We're only in one... We can't. Thank you, Helmut Feuerbach. I do realize the vast research great forest bring most prominent area, but we can't. Your independence will be asserted. The Emperor will aid you in everything that you might require to defend your country. Thank you. Okay. So, we have to go north. Do we? Okay, this is problematic. So the Northgans have invaded the northern regions of the Empire, and the vampires are obviously advancing on the human factions. But we're not going to fight on two fronts. There were some people in history that made a few mistakes that way. We're not going to do that. We're going for Altdorf. That will bring us a little boost of income.
Ready.
Yes, very well. Eldred for Fiddler. You're going on a Bardic Warhorse, yes. And of course you are a renowned hero. A legendary presence. I never heard of this one. Okay, well, legendary either way. We need money, which we don't have.
The nation calls. By Sigmar's right.
Not that big of a problem. Do we have any treaties with Karl? Very well. I should go for some treaties.
In. Let's get on with this. I
And
have important
Confederation.
matters to attend to.
Oh, we could confederate the Hunts Marshal. We're not going to do that now.
So,
But okay.
the Empire.
I'm just.
Only Sigmar's
Ah,
God.
yes.
So be it.
The Emperor needs to make some treaties because
By Sigmar's will.
his ground armies
I
will
will.
now march from the core
Approach as
empire,
friend. Agreed.
and
Sigmar, welcome my country.
we
All
do
right.
not want
By
any
Sigmar's will.
diplomatic
Called.
Come then. Only Sigmar's
Very
God.
well.
penalties.
So, it is good to see.
Midland, okay.
I speak for the Phoenix King, and I bid you welcome.
The Emperor would like to trade with your nation, mighty Belner, the Wise. Oh boy, they offer me. Yes, yes, please. Yes, very nice. Okay, very good. Okay. Certainly not. Bretonnian Toasts all around. Okay, we can't trade with the dwarfs. That's a bummer. We're not gonna. No, we're not going to let that stop us. Okay, very well.
The Empire.
So we have 0 imperial authority now. We need to get positive in that regard. Oh, Yanni Grimborough.
You up.
I'm pretty sure the AI will not be.
Muy quilquare.
Well, we could make them. They're probably not at war. It's a little bit of a problem if you are in war with a country, and later you get into a military alliance with another. They do not automatically join your enemies. It's a bit ridiculous. Imagine, I don't know, some fantasy countries like Americu and Rochot at war, and then Franco would join the Americo alliance, and no automatic war. That's ridiculous. Shouldn't do that. If you join a military alliance with someone, you should check up where
Anything is possible.
actual recent ongoing wars, because you will be drawn into it. It's total war. It's not totally realistic, but yeah, okay. So we have to go for moderate tax increase, yes. Oh boy. So we have. If I spend more time in March stance, we will have less upkeep for all units. I mean, this is awesome. Okay,
By the comet.
I do accept.
In the name of Magnus.
And we're going to crush the Leaf Cutters tribe.
Praise Sigmar.
Yes,
On march.
Is it time? Men, war
goodbye,
calls.
Leaf Cut. Oh boy, this is not even a battle. I mean, this is a slaughter, but it's our slaughter. I heard that, yes, we will return this building to Midland.
Fight my orders are to move.
I heard that within recent patch, a new upgrade to the automatic battle system will be implemented, which means that we will probably have no more single units being executed randomly by automatic battle, which always was a little bit of a bummer. I'm not absolutely, well, convinced that this will actually work out, but we are.
I command here.
Okay, so our vampire-ish lady needs more tenacity, yes. She's, oh boy, she's plus 31. And Voltin is already award with Sigmar, yes, of course, and he also gets Sigmar's award. And we need some little untamed. We need to cleanse this territory. Untainted, if you might know or not. Untainted is a special mechanic that was implemented sort of dark and versus light. The darker species like Norskin, vampires, or undead taint the land with their filth, and if a land is tainted too much, you actually get penalties in various ways. It's also very problematic for your armies, because you will, well, suffer attrition and then you will die, which is not our target. And Luther Hus needs certainly more full-plate armor, yes. Ludwig Schwarzhelm should start training, yes.
Summon the Elector Counts.
So we're going for an equipment
To unite the provinces.
because we need more units.
What does the Emperor bid?
I was about to say we're going to invade Lorelon first, but I remember the story that Karl Franz was saved earlier by who
To the
else?
provinces.
We can't do that now.
This will bolster the nation.
Well, we do have more money now, but our income is still almost non-existent. We're going
What?
to do a little trick. Yes, we're going to send Luther Hus, because of his decree of peace, into our province. So the Prophet of Sigmar
Come, men, forward!
is going for Wissenland to ensure the change
Yes, son
of the Dragon Lady's recent problematic decisions against the Emperor would not, well,
Who called?
make our buildings more expensive than necessary. Which is the truth? What? I'm going to tell anyone. Okay, yes, we're going to wait to build something. And we will need to recruit some units for Franz. It is a time for artillery, but we don't have any artillery yet, so we are going for Empire Archer.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
So,
I'm a big fan of Huntsmen. And as you might have noticed, this is a little bit melee heavy, which is fine for now, which is also fine against the vampires.
be at peace, for that is all I ever want.
Oh yes, please. The king of the dwarves, Egrimm Grudgebearer, seeks a treaty about military lines with long friendly empire. Yes, thank you.
Be at peace, for that is all I ever want.
Oh yes. Boris Todbringer has obviously new plans. His plans to invade the Empire, the core Empire, to fight his Emperor, are halted
Speak, I will hear you now.
because there are
Be
Norskins
warned,
approaching.
My mood is dark.
And I shouldn't even consider it. It's ridiculous. I'm not even commenting on this. I mean, what? There's... Out of nowhere, a host approached Altdorf, which is not friendly-ish. Arkhan the Black has taken control of the important choke point of Vulture Mountain. Okay. Well, Karl. Oh, you can already upgrade the huntsmen.
I am Franz. They will
So-
obey.
We will kill the Varg. We will go for money,
Onward! Bring me to my
because we are
men.
in dire need. And we will go for Altdorf,
Move!
because we
The
need to
nation
upgrade
calls.
our Empire Archer into Huntsman.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Yes, you are.
The Empire.
And we have already Deathclaw. Oh yes, we still have to understand that followers of the Emperor are inspired by his presence to attain levels of excellence in swordsmanship and personal loyalty they never thought possible. Which means that great swords in Franz's army get big buffs in leadership and armor. And also, heroic knightly band is upon us. For we will sit at Sigmar's banquet like the heroes of old, and our names will be remembered in our people's songs until the end of time. Which doesn't mean that we are going to get a buff against chaos, but we get hero recruit rank for Emperor captains. It doesn't make sense, but I'm not complaining. The hero recruit more rank for Empire, it's always good. It's like a vampire lady trying to endure level. Never to be broken or dishonored, never to succumb to the foe. Okay, so she's going for even more armor on her dress. Okay. Oh boy. The time has come. It seems that Arkhan, the ever-chosen, is approaching. This is a story that had not yet come to pass. We're going into the lore anyway. Together, you have to understand there is a... Arkhan, the Ever-Chosen, is a sort of dark entity trying to destroy the living. He's a servant of chaos. Chaos means dark gods. Dark gods want, well, the end of all civilization. And Arkhan, the Ever-Chosen, went in, well, a chaotic manner with a giant chaos host to destroy the Empire. And together, Vulture and Karl Franz set out to help the besieged city of Middenheim. After the armies Karl Franz had mustered reached their final staging point at Talabecland, Vulture was gifted with a suit of Gromril armor from the dwarves and an elven steed from the High Elves. Cheered on by the rank and file, the army headed for Middenheim, where they relieved the bloodied yet victorious defenders, forcing Arkhan and the remnants of his forces to withdraw. Armor of the Heldenhammer. Okay, so Vulture now gets basically very, very powerful. So he's going to need a little bit more training. No, he is super powerful, even though I'm not very convinced with his hit points. No, I'm not. Anyway, and he's going to get Galmaras, which is the legendary Hammer of Sigmar. This rune-encrusted weapon is not only a symbol of the Emperor's mantle, but one of the most potent artifacts in the world. And it's also very good because it gives all provinces public order, which means we won't have to build a lot of taverns or other public order buildings, because our public order is not going down the drain anymore. Thank you. Alfundine, or Alfundine, as a tall elven steed, its flanks white and glistening, its armor gleaming. Sired by Malhundir, steed of Prince Tyrion. Though not purebred like his father, Alfundine was finer than any horse of the old world. The armor Vulture received was forged over 2,500 years ago for the warrior king Sigmar. The ancient Gromril armor was never claimed by the founder of the Empire. Its many runes provide protection against attack and malign magic. You have to understand that in the Warhammer lore, Sigmar is a god now, yes, but he wasn't born or created or came to be a god. He was a human once. He was a warrior king. And then later, he became a god, which is a difference, little one. And Ludwig Schwarzhelm Yes, he's also getting Sigmar's ward. And we're going for some public order. Very nice. Okay. Where is our Luthorus? There you are. Would you please consider marching to Wissenland? Thank you. We do need a gunsmith. Oh. Let me just check on this. We also need a Shrine of Sigmar. Yes, we're going to need a Shrine of Sigmar. Also, it just costs 840 with all these buffs. Well, optimistic religious offering of some praise for the hard-working people, so they do not need so much pay to build a shrine, which makes sense because if the Catholic Church appears at your doorstep and says you're going to build the Cologne Dome, you're not complaining, because otherwise you'll get, well, probably thrown into prison. Military recruitment. Yes, we're going to need a gunsmith. But we're going to build it in Null. So we're not going to... Oh, well, we do need the barracks. So we're going to complete those. Well, no, we're going to build the... We don't have that money. Okay, no, we're not going to do that. Okay.
Yes.
And Kurt Helborg, accompanied by the mighty host with Hans Sindler and Gandalf and some other dudes we're not even caring about anymore. Trying to defend off the Norscan invaders. And they... Okay. Marching on Salzenmund.
Yes, a sound plan.
The Norscan invaders, of course, knew. We're going to suffer attrition. Oh boy. Of this schemery. So our brave heroes did not venture all the way to Middenheim, no. Our brave heroes went for a different path, a dangerous one. Along Laurelon Forest, there was a ravine. Entwined, dangerous beasts and monsters crawling everywhere. Like 2 meters proximity to an elvish home, but we're not going to indulge in that. Okay, so in this ravine was a trap there was. We didn't know that yet, so we're going to end the round.
I command here.
Yes, you are a commander. I do like Sindler's Reichsguard, even though, no, we need Sindler's
It is
Reichsguard
time.
with Sindler. Okay. So, the end time is soon approaching. If I remember, I've played so many hundreds of hours of Total War Warhammer, yet I'm still unsure when the Chaos invasions approach. It's usually the big invasion around 100, well, round 100. Even though sometimes it's a little bit off, obviously there is some logic to it. I mean, I could look it up, but
Be at peace, for that is all I ever want.
what would be the fun in that? Alrik Drashkak. Usually, if someone is approaching the Emperor and is demanding something, you would decline him, but we do have to understand this is Clan Draskarak. You can already see his gold plated armored. These are dwarves, and in order to make trade with a dwarf, you have to pay respect to his ancestors. So you're going to have to give him coins, so he can use these coins to pray and say hello to his ancestors. Which basically means he's going to drink a lot of ale, but that's his decision, so we're accepting 100 gold coins for 100 beers on your ancestors. It's That's absolutely correct. It's all right. I'm not complaining. It's okay. May your ancestor look upon ye and feel good. Okay, so Luther
What do you
has
require?
need for you to reach Nuln, has reached the mighty city of Nuln. Do we have anything? No, okay.
Summon
And
the Elector Counts.
Karl Franz. Whilst mustering the city of Altdorf reached word of Court Helborg's march around Laurelon Forest. And with one swift force march of the mighty eagle.
No other option. Is it time?
What was his name? Deathclaw. He sent very quickly some troops to Kurt and told him, yes, stay on your way. We're going to
strengthen the Empire.
Is this a clever way? I'm not sure. We're going to create a diversion. We're going to march on Salzmund. You in secrecy. March to Dietershafen.
It is for the
No
best.
one.
Never.
No one is going to notice you. There are no banished hunters and ferromanticores beyond the ravine, no. Who is no one? They are just forests and forests and forest. And in this darkest of all places,
Praise Sigmar.
Court Helborg decided to camp. Because he is an emperor dude. And he's, well, convinced that Sigmar will always guide and protect him. Which isn't that wrong, but Dietic help does have some boundaries. And we need more income, yes, with 1,050, 21 rounds to make this pay off. No. Okay. As you might have noticed, when I see buildings that bring me more money, I'm usually trying to, well, take into account the costs. For example, this building, this quarry, level 1, will give me 100 income. In level 2, it will give me 150 income, which means that the difference is 50 income, and the cost is 1,050. So if you divide 1,050 through 50, you will understand that 21 is the answer you're seeking, well, you're looking for, which means that you will have to at least have the full finished building for 21 rounds until it pays off. And it
There
only
is power within prayer.
needs 21 rounds because we have Luthorus and he has a holy decree, which means that construction costs, well, are reduced. So usually this building would even be worse. But as you might see, this is not a building primarily centered around generating income, but producing a trade resource called marble. You might know it. In some buildings it looks good. It does look dashing. I did build a stonecutter. You can't expect me to immediately go for marble quarry. We're in times of need. Armies of darkness are approaching, and we already have an iron mine, so no, we're not going to do that. Okay. So the Emperor doesn't have a full army in his mustering. He was, well, stopped. Paused. Bretonnian Toasts are still around. We will eventually have to reinforce Helmgard.
Yes.
Yes, we're
The
going to
nation
need
calls.
to send Luthorus to Helmgard, yes. You can also leave the region once. It's a little bit ridiculous. Once you've built a building with the benefits of a hero, you can
Let
just
us forge our
send the
faith.
hero away. And it's, well, not going hard on your treasury. So that's not a problem. As you might have noticed, round times do take longer now. Now imagine, back in the days, like half a year ago, or 3/4 of a year.
Welcome, brothers, from across the Grey Mountains.
This was the speed at the beginning, and later on it, well, diminished into nothingness. So, Cassian de Paravon wants to seek peace. This Bretonnian Toast, which invaded our land without any justification, we're not going to do that. Of course, he's a Bretonnian Toast, but there is also a tactical viewpoint. At first, he's a Bretonnian Toast, and secondly, he continues to attack Helmgard, which means that the forces at Helmgard will reach higher ranks, so they are going to be more powerful, which is good. Also, if he is in war with us, the AI is obviously programmed to ignore other enemies, which means that he's going to attack us and not the orcs in Massive Orcal. And we do want Massive Orcal as a building for ourselves. So if we do not allow Paravon to attack us, he will destroy the orcs. And we want the orcs' territory. We can't do that if we are in peace with the Bretonnians. Because later on, if this is one Bretonnian empire, it's not an empire, it's a combination of some river lords. We can't attack one single faction because they will all declare war on us. So this is a bit of a tactic, which will eventually probably pay off, but we will have to hurry and... No, we're not going to do this. You Bretonnian Toast attacked us.
For that is all I ever want.
Oh boy. Oh yes, please. This is actually very good. So we are now in a defensive alliance. Altdorf is the seat of the Emperor. Altdorf is the seat of Emperor Karl Franz, and it has been the imperial capital since the accession of Wilhelm III, Prince of Altdorf, almost 100 years ago. At the current seat of the imperial court, Altdorf supports a flourishing economy which attracts all kinds of people. It is a bustling city with a substantial community of merchants, adventurers, mercenaries, and fortune seekers from all across the old world. The wells are passing through Altdorf's gates, and to the political intrigues that unfold within its courts also support a rotten underbelly. A den for thieves, corrupt city officials and assassins. There are certain streets that even the City Watch avoids at night for fear of finding a dagger stuck between their shoulder blades. The city is renowned as a center of learning, and the University of Altdorf is the most highly respected academic institution in the empire, where lords and princes from many lands come to sit at the feet of mankind's foremost thinkers. Altdorf is also home to some of the most important organizations in the old world, such as the colleges of magic, the centers of magical law and learning that are justly famous throughout the empire and beyond. It is here that the old world's finest mages learn their art, and where the empire's deadly battle wizards are trained. like Gandalf. Another great institution is the Imperial Engineers School, founded by the Chilean genius Leonardo of Mirgagliano. This school, which has been rebuilt on no less than a dozen separate occasions, following misguided experiments and catastrophic malfunctions, attracts investors from all over the old world and is responsible for most of the Empire's technical innovations over the past few centuries. The Engineers School has provided the Empire with a number of experimental weapons, from repeating muskets to mobile battle towers and the formidable steam tanks. Altdorf stands astride the confluence of the rivers Reik and Talabecland, and is renowned for the numerous bridges that traverse these waterways. You can see this. Camperbot. Talabecland. Many of these bridges were designed by the Imperial Engineers School and are equipped with hissing steam-driven pistons that raise and lower them in all manner of unusual ways, allowing the many trade ships to travel further up the Reich. The Reich Sport, home of the Imperial Navy, is a deep-water harbor built on the shores of Altdorf, where even ocean-going ships can unload their cargoes. The city also boasts the famous Imperial Zoo, which houses all manner of large and fearsome monsters, some of which are trained and harnessed as beasts of war. These creatures have been captured from every corner of the Empire, as well as a few more curious specimens from the northern wastes. The interesting thing is with Warhammer, they actually say Reich. There are some, for example, Men in the High Castle. It's a depiction of a dystopian future where the Nazis won the Second World War. They always say Reich, even though in German it means Reich, with a h, not k. It's pronounced wrong. They are all doing it wrong anyway. This actually says Reich. So it's not trying, it's actually evolving from a, well, vocal point of view. And the German influences on the names and on this empire is beyond a doubt. I mean, there are so many similarities to the Holy Roman Empire of German nations. It's interesting if you know what you're looking for. Okay. We have money problems.
To the provinces. By Sigmar's right.
Can we take Dieter's
Let us
Hafen?
move. Pick up the pace.
Okay. Does he have... No, he has no lightning strike. That's problematic.
Who calls?
That should not
Fight
concern
for our
us.
nation.
We will destroy them either way. And with a heroic stroke, could Helborg destroy these filthy Norskin invaders and return the settlement to its rightful elector.
The
Onwards.
Force has spoken.
Usually I'm not caring so much about returning a building to our elector, but in this case, so you can easily take this portion of the Empire. This portion, Marienburg, is a little bit problematic because the Dark Elves will come eventually. And especially the northern points like Wrecker's Point and Dietershafen and Salzmund and Norden are constantly invaded by the Norskins. So if you like to have a little bit of a leave, you should try to get electors running around. Oh boy. The vampires are getting a little bit too daunting. We're not going to allow that. But first, no, we're still not going to take a selfie. We're going to find a new way for Marcus Gruber. United for his heroic contribution to the defense of Ubersreich, Gruber has, somewhat reluctantly, climbed the social ladder, from a mercenary to a huntsman, and now at a new station. Yet, not fully comfortable in his new station, Gruber has nonetheless found new method and purpose in his never-ending battles, be they against the enemy horde or his inner demons. And now Marcus Gruber has become a foot knight, clad in full-plate armor. Yes, I like this. And our legendary Eldred Fourth Fiddler, yes, I've never heard of this one, is also protected by Sigmar's ward, and he's wild-eyed, for if you look into his eyes, only death there is to see. Carillion is still strong, and she is going for more skill set in dual dagger combat. Yeah, what? Oh boy. She is a skilled assassin, of course, and the Shade's hardiness makes them valued additions to any raiding fleet, and many dreadlords expend much wealth in enticing them to their cause. The Empire of Men should be grateful to have such an ally. This is interesting. She was exiled, obviously. Wait, what? Alexa, we haven't heard that one yet. No, she's not exiled.
Bring me to my men,
She's a part of the Empire.
as is my right by Sigmar's crown.
As is
I am
Karl
Prince and
Franz.
Emperor.
Ooh, yes, okay. If we force
Yes,
march.
to unite the provinces.
No, this is not a clever idea.
I am Franz. They will obey.
We will wait
Moving off.
at Middenheim. Franz decided to march
On march!
forth from Middenheim,
I see no other option.
and at nightfall he set camp to reinforce his last huntsman group. Still not going well. Here you can also see the I told you about improving ranks of units at Harmgard, and now you can see it. So this is a huntsman troop with no rank whatsoever. And this is a huntsman group almost at full rank. There are 9 unit ranks. 3 bronzium, 3 silver, and 3 golden. This is unit rank 8, so it has 2 gold rank. And if you look closely, you can see that through these ranks, each rank will give them 1 leadership, and they will receive probably 6 or 7 melee attack throughout these 9 ranks. And they also will receive missile damage. I mean, they are in range units, so you don't really have to worry about melee attack and melee defense if you're playing it right. But missile attack is extraordinarily important. Oh yes, it is. Okay. Outdoor has reached full height. And as it seems, we have no money whatsoever to build any interesting building, so we're not going to... we do need more money. This is not a problem. I mean, this is life. If you have to build an empire, you have to spare some expenses. And later on, if your bank runs dry, you can just find new banks and confederate them. Friendlyishly persuade them to aid in your quest for finding money. Okay, Clan Grinsagas is attacking the Broken Nose tribes. So if you click on this icon, you can see at least where their main capital building is. I'm not concerned about Karak Bufda. They can boof as much as they like to. They'll probably get crushed by Karak Izor anyway. Gerhard's mercenaries. Okay. We've established a satisfactory trade network with our neighbors. What matters now is how we continue handling our trade markets. We could send delegates. Oh no, we're gonna go. No. Okay. So we're not going to trade treasure, it's ridiculous. We could expand the network to improve diplomatic relations, or we could consolidate. We're going to consolidate because we do need more trade money, and we have a lot of trade partners at this point. Early on in the beginning of your campaign, you should take expanding the network. Your neighbors will be happy that you will point out goods where there aren't. Well, not your troops. Nobody's deaf to the clinking of money. Right now we need money, so we're going to consolidate. Yes, very well. And there it is, positive income. So Helmgard will need 5,000. We don't have any money. Well, we're going back to Wissenland.
I command here.
And Court Helborg. Would you please consider...
Sigmar compels us.
Oh. This is probably the best thing we
Summon the Elector Counts.
do.
In the name of Magnus.
Okay, Court Helborg, you're going
Yes,
into
a sound
encampment stance. Gandalf will find a great eagle disguised as an Imperial Pegasus. I like that. I mean, they do solve every problem that we have. So we're going to take advantage of that.
Now, no peace, just war.
And we will take back Salzenmund for Nordland. Yes.
Let's go. Yes.
And now we can go into encampment stance, yes. It's also a little trick. The problematic thing is we
Step
are
to it.
in tainted territory. You see the chaos corruption at 41%, which means that usually your troops will suffer heavy penalties. So if you take back an elector, you still have your rest of your movement points, which means that you can go into an
Yes.
encampment.
To unite the provinces.
Because if you take or raise or do anything like that, you won't have to be, well, bothered with changing your stance. This is working not so bad. Just not really sure that Nordland will be able to defend this
I
territory.
will marshal the men.
The good thing is, through this action we will have a lot of Imperial authority, which
Ready.
is always good. You do need more Imperial authority. Okay. But
What?
we will take away some units from Court Helborg. No, wait. No. We're going to the Amp in dire financial needs.
Bring me
We
to
did
my men.
to make a quick decision. And in his almost eternal wisdom, he decided that the vampires didn't need any gold. They were dead beasts anyway. How could a dead beast enjoy money? So, a mighty host of the Empire now marched on Norden. And then, in a diversionic actionic action, the mighty Empire hosts would march on Wolfenburg and Kassel von Rauken, and they would crush these rebels. Bad infidels, beasts, whatever. I mean, they're basically just blood-thirsted, blood-devouring, sharp-teethed monsters. And why do they exist in the first place? I mean, we are the Empire. I mean, in good human manner, we should try to eradicate all non-human nations. It's at least what any human empire has done in fantasy history. Except the Empire, because there was a chaos invasion. I mean, usually when the humans in fantasy worlds start to expand, they either kill everyone. Ah, Cassia. It is you. I saw it. Or mysteriously appearing evil, very evil. It needs to be evil invasion. Approaching. So these humans would not expand any further on the innocents, like little elves with the pew-pew arrows, or little dwarves with their horns of stone. But then they would all be united against the forces of darkness. Which
I speak, you act.
it makes
Handgunners.
it's okay.
Yes, General.
Fantasy
Elves at the ready. Taking
usually
aim.
does not
By Ulrich's wrath.
demand absolute accuracy.
We are Sigmar's heirs. Swordsman. Halberdiers.
So again,
Great
we aren't going
swords.
to complain too much.
The Empire endures.
After all, especially in the Warhammer fantasy lore,
Soldiers of the Empire.
the forces of good stands against the forces of the evil, and
Reichsguard.
so we don't have to bother ourselves with those enemies anyway. And we can begin the siege battle. Bretonnian host melee. Why? I mean, this is Bretonnia, and cavalry is what they are and what they do, but attacking a fortress with no siege movement whatsoever, and 90% cavalry, it's not that clever. We could call it stupid. I mean, they do have mounted bowmen, obviously. Ah, so they do have infantry. Oh yes, arrow boys. Are these arrow boys supposed to kill our great swords? I'm not convinced. I mean, this is also a feature that we really need in Warhammer 3. We need cavalry that can step aside. We already had that. In Total War history, we already had cavalry and heroes that were able to remove themselves from the horse and become infantry, and even later return on their horse well if it was still alive. Once again, a question: why take away a good feature? It's the end of the question. Why take away a good feature? If it's buggy, debug it. If it's not possible, ask the community. And the community always knows the answers. If you are not courageous enough as a developer to ask the community to solve a problem for you, you should not bother yourself with games in the first place. Because as history has taught us, the best games always are games that can be modded, where hundreds of clever individuals combine their intellect to create extraordinary stuff. Like these bowmen being cut down by our greatsword units. Oh boy. This is blood battle. This is our general. Oh yes. Oh, he is. This is Cloud Kusterman, the first Empire captain to crush. Oh boy, we didn't see that. No. We're going to fast forward this. This is a bit bloody. I mean, it is a bloody battle. I mean, people are cutting themselves to win. Oh boy, here's regeneration. What the 800 weapon strength, 72 melee, 100 armor, 105 charge. What? Why is he overpowered? He is very powerful. No, we're not going to consider peace. We have Reiksguard. A mighty Reiksguard host is defending Helmgard against invaders from the south. They just killed 16 people. They pew-pewed a little bit on some pixels on a screen. Well, it's always interesting, those two musketeers were almost at the same location, yet one killed 88 people and the other 37. You should think that because they were always too close to each other, they should have, well, killed a similar count of units, but they didn't. Oh, the archers didn't kill anyone. Well, they are great swords. You can't expect an archer to kill a great sword. I mean, 0 kills is... it's a little bit ridiculous. And we do have more money now. Thank you, you Bretonnian Toast.
Greetings from Sigmar.
Gerhard's mercenaries. Oh, yes. Yes. Well, usually, you know me, no payment, but they are mercenaries. It is their job to pay the men. So we are going to take this 100 coin price for the forces of good, obliterating those beasts who could kill us with dread Saurian later. And dread Saurian, I mean, you should say Saurier. The English pronunciation of this Latin term is ridiculous, but okay. So, payment it is. During the maneuver on the river Reik on one of our ships, accidentally sunk a dwarf merchant cog. The dwarfs survived. The beer they oh boy. They're dwarfs? Okay. Beer no. The dwarf nation will not accept that. The beer they transported not so much. Most kegs that resurfaced after the ship sunk somehow got lost during the rescue operation by our fleet. Now the dwarf merchants in the city are furious and demand a formal apology and a hefty compensation. How shall we proceed? 40% double. The Emperor, after careful consideration, of course, decided to compensate these greedy dwarfs 40%. What the? Take your money. Salzmund would be defended by no nurse. Yes. Oh well, Emperor was close by. And by executing the captives, he got treasury.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Very well. Yes. Oh no, please. Oh no. Oh, I knew it. Oh, this story. We heard it before. A plague takes hold in the Empire, and the plagued victims begin to take on traits all too familiar to both Skaven and man. Whether or not the vision given to Skrulk was from Nurgle the Stag and its plague were most definitely the Chaos God's property. Unable to withstand the slow and agonizing death this plague bears on each victim for weeks, thousands have begun to pledge themselves to Nurgle in a desperate attempt to ease the pain when all else has forsaken them. And 3 random full-stack armies
Let us forge
just
our fate.
stop with the Empire. Can just block them? Seriously? Okay, we do have a problem. Houston, what are you going to do? Build cannon foundry? No. We do not fields. Yes, you're going to build fields.
There is power within prayer.
Word reached Franz from this
Now,
problematic
by the comet.
situation. And whilst Genevieve received immortality and was given dark blessings from dead souls, giving her leadership, okay. Vulture, a true nation's hope, was so full of conviction, his deadly onslaught changed the war that was approaching. And Ludwig Schwarzhelm, still not for the call to level 20, oh boy, decided to get a deadly blade and become a foe seeker. Okay.
What?
But we should take Norden now.
I will marshal the men.
If
By Sigmar's right.
how much stance do we need for this? Okay. Okay, no, we're not going to recover financially from this. Don't have much of a choice here. We could trust in our defenses. We're going to do that. Can they reach the city? Oh yes, they can. We're going to take Norden.
So, I see no other option.
We need
Men, war calls!
to protect the Empire. We're going to return this to Ostland.
Fight Make for haste, our nation. Men!
Yes.
Bring me to my men.
And our decided that imperial discipline of all else is of great importance. If veterans lead battles, and if they train for thousands of hours, the soldiers of the Empire are ready for any foe, and we will need a lot of ambush defense if we're going against Skaven territory. And Ludwig Schwarzhelm decided to train even more and to become scarred veteran, so he gets more hit points, and this is extraordinarily good for us.
I command here.
Okay.
This will bolster
Is
the
this
nation.
of any use?
Yes, a sound plan.
And Court Helborg
Pick up the pace.
marched
It is for the best.
in full force to the core empire. Oh boy, we're going to lose so hard. Either way,
What do you require?
Uta Hus is block army. I mean, this. The only thing we could do. Yes, we could do that. Oh, our dragon lady. Still one turn recruit. Of course. Okay. So we should we go for the Electrocon of Ostland or Nordland? He looks like a wizard. He's a weapon, hybrid weapon. Theoderic Gausser. Magically healed
The Empire.
in Uberschlag.
Sigmar compels us.
And already armed with a sea dragon cloak. A tough, scaly hide of a sea dragon. And as a brass lunged, holding the line, Sigmar warded, battle living vicious fighter. Theoderic had fought countless battles against enemies, like Norskins and Orcs, Dark Elves, and Marineburgers. And this has given him a great experience boost in battle, which he now bestows upon his state troops. Oh yes, weapon strengths against Norskin. Are they Norskin? Do they count as Norskin?
No.
Are you of Norskin origin, territory? Is it possible to find this out? Are you a Norskin one? He vowed. I mean, these are Chaos troops, so it's probably
What
Chaos.
does the Emperor bid?
What? No. Yes, Imperial Navy. And he's a route marcher and he's hard to hit. Growth alert. Who? Elector count. Appeal authority. I apologize. It is important to untaint the land to be alerted by being elector count. Headhunter, recruitment cost, tradition, quartermaster, lightning strike. Let's try it. Okay. And he is a scarred veteran of many battles. He is so scarred that his hit points are increased by 15%. Oh, he's a bad boy. Yes, full plate armor, we seeker, and he's a wound maker. Yes. And for some reason unknown to most, Luthor Hus joined
Shield of faith.
Yes, my lord.
Theoderic Gausser. And in this darkest of hours, when randomly 3 full stacks appeared,
Cease.
the day ended, nightfall, wolves howling through the night. And this was the end of our story, at least for this day. So we're going to say bye.
Your demise is certain.
Yes, our demise is certain because in about an hour after the next episode, which I will not now start to record 5 seconds later, this save file will be probably lost, so we have to enjoy this one. See you again. Not in 6 seconds.